This segment brought to you by the Western Kansas Wildlife Travel Center in Oakley.
I think I mentioned the other day that we had run into one of our favorite wildlife biologists, Kurt Meyer, and Kurt's just always full of such interesting stuff. I always learn something. Like all those biologists, they're an incredible resource, and your county has one. So you seek them out and have a conversation. I guarantee you'll be enlightened. When Kurt started telling me about the Tarantula Hawk, I had no idea. I had never heard of one. And now that tarantulas aren't scary enough to some of us, you've got the Tarantula Hawk to worry about? This is incredible. This is like some Stephen King horror story. In fact, we should send this to Stephen King. The Tarantula Hawk is not a bird, but an insect, even though it is nearly as large as some small birds. The iridescent blue-orange winged wasp can grow up to 2 inches long, and its stinger can be up to 1/4 of an inch long. Kansas wildlife biologist Kurt Meyer said they are thankfully pretty docile unless provoked, but when they are angry, watch out. The sting is considered to be the second most painful of any insect. The most painful prize goes to the bullet ant or the warrior wasp, depending on your source. As you might have guessed, the tarantula wasp gets its name from tarantulas. It actually hunts them. Well, the female hunts tarantulas, while the male, who does not even have a stinger, hangs out on the couch and watches TV, or whatever it is male wasps do. The female goes out on the prowl and finds an unsuspecting tarantula, and she pounces and stings him. The sting will paralyze the tarantula, and she will then drag him back to her den, lay her eggs inside the tarantula's abdomen, and then close up the den so he can't escape should the paralysis wear off. The tarantula becomes the host for her eggs to grow until eventually they hatch into larvae. The larvae then feast on the poor creature until it dies. Doesn't this sound like an episode of Criminal Minds or a Stephen King horror story? According to the National Park Service, the Roadrunner is one of the few critters willing to risk the sting of the tarantula hawk in order to eat him or her. I guess for a roadrunner, that insect is a pretty big, irresistible bite, and just another reason to root for the roadrunner. Beep, beep. Welcome to the Western Kansas Wildlife Travel Center, right here in my hometown of Oakley, Kansas. We're the front door of Western Kansas, located on 3 main highways, I-70, US 83, and US 40. And all those roads lead to history, beautiful scenery, and adventure, no matter which direction you go. We now have an IHOP. That brand that you've trusted up and down the road in all your travels is staffed with local folks, real people, just like you and me, and we're waiting on you to join us. So for fun, adventure, fuel up, fuel your body, and let's have some fun.